is in crisis, and a call on world leaders then for let us stand up and be counted. Of the 5 leaders then around the world we've been called, now President Julius Maada Bio for let them address the education crisis, the education emergency that the world is facing. So for no say, every place we have had crisis, we have had a global challenge, then they also call on President Julius Maada Bio for learning expertise, for sharing experience, and for being part of the solution, even though he might not have been part of the problem. This is very important. So Sierra Leone is more dots on the globe, already the punch above in weight. A major global issues there, then they call for provide leadership, particularly under this leadership of President Julius Maada Bio. We are also aware, say, this president now aim they lead the Committee of 10 for the reform of the UN Security Council. Africa gets a population of about 1.4 billion people, will not get a voice at the Security Council. I think that one is very concerning to the rest of the world. So Africa come together and say, look, President Bio, you are respected. The world listens to you when you speak. You will lead this Committee of 10 for the reform of the UN Security Council. So President Bio is leading that, and he's made a loud and clear voice of consensus for all third world nations, particularly Africa, for all get a seat now both the permanent category and the non-permanent category of the United Nations. I think this is very huge for a country, like huge recognition, and this is something every Sierra Leonean across the globe will be very proud of the leadership we'll get. Of course, we all aware, say, from West Alone Commander, the Security Council, the non-permanent category in 1971, the year we were born, Sierra Leone, they make a huge comeback. Yeah, we don't bid for return to the Security Council as a non-permanent member, and already we are the African Union endorsed candidates for that. Global countries around the world don't endorse with candidature. So again, this is another history that President Bio is going to make on behalf of all of us, irrespective of SLPP, APC, and irrespective of politics. This is about national pride. This is about Sierra Leone taking her rightful place amongst other nations of the world. Charles, welcome. Charles Champion, Conte, welcome. Abraham Kamara, welcome. We're glad for receiving her, as always. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. Frederick Kagbeni-Mwana, Frederick, welcome. Good to have you here, as always. So, Sierra Leone is on the ascendancy. We are moving on. Nothing is going to hold us back as long as the new direction under President Julius Maada Bio is here. Abdul Panabon, welcome. Oh, volume. I didn't know we had a volume issue. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so we'll try to get it as loud as we possibly could, Mr. Panabon. So, in the last couple of days, very interesting thing that done happen in our country. We play host to one of Sierra Leone's Sons of the Soil. Yesterday, day before yesterday, we play host to James Cleverly, one of the Right Honorable Minister for Foreign Relations, if you like. Foreign Affairs Minister, the UK, the Foreign Affairs Minister, the Foreign Secretary, Bendena Salou. A really, really, really important for us to understand the full context of why he was in Sierra Leone. It don't say we get UK officials then, but it don't say we not ever get a foreign secretary from the UK they can visit. But I put context. I mean, even at the risk of talking something where everybody know. We are all aware, say, Sierra Leone and UK will get strong bilateral ties, will get strong fraternal ties, will get strong brotherly ties over the years. Being colonial masters, we don't commodity. Mo Salah Jallo, thank you very much. Great sentiments. So we don't come on colonial ties. We don't continue to maintain a very healthy relationship with the UK, Britain. So we know say Tony Blair, he gets experience and we work in Afro College back in the days. So he had a great relationship, a great affinity with Sierra Leone. Again, come James Cleverly, James Imama, come on Abo. He worked in Abo for long years as a midwife. So yes, he came na Frita in double trust, like we did na Julius Caesar. First, as the UK Foreign Secretary. Second, as a son of the soil, we've been a home. So I am told the people of Bota, even though they deserve the British government for keeping low key, the people of Bota, they were defiant. They said, look, Nayaso, one of us is coming home, a king's man is coming home. Let's welcome her the way we know how to do best. So the Bota people then go ahead and I understand they give him a hilarious welcome, a hero's welcome, a befitting welcome, So I want to tell the people of Bota plenty thank you for that very tumultuous welcome where they give one of their own, a son of the Hoy returning home. So James coming, I understand the receiver, now the final checkpoint for enter Bo, hilariously, and been do very well. They go straight to Osai Mama in the Oak, now the Bo Government Hospital. Now the Bo Government Hospital, UK projects they needed. For example, the blood bank, the oxygen bank, the blood bank, the oxygen factory, and all of that. We all know, say, over the years, we don't get huge issues with infant mortality. Infant mortality beginning to die, particularly premature babies, because they don't get oxygen, then they die. One of the reasons why Salone gets very high infant mortality figures. Yeah. So James stopped by there, see that investment, that British investment there, in the oxygen plants, where now they make sure, say, every child born, whether premature or not, gets a fair and square chance for survive. Thus, it help for reduce with maternal mortality rate, with infant mortality rates around the world, around the country. So that was very good. I've been very impressed. I've been also very impressed by the commitment with the midwives in the show. I obviously bring a floodgate of memories, a mentioner. It's even though Mama died 12 years ago, but that one day now Mama said they do. So I see passionate people, determined people, committed people, professional people in the service of the motherland, trying to work around the clock for save other people in childbirth and the beginning. So I've been very emotionally touched by that. And I think, say, on that note, we need to tell plenty thank you to the midwives there and the nurses there at the Bo Government Hospital, right? They do a fantastic job. They go around the compound. They say they've been very impressed by the way that they keep the place. They've been very decorous. They go to the blood bank. You see all them things and the way you see, and very impressed. So it mentioned and say government and investment in healthcare delivery, they pay off. It's beginning to pay off in a big way. Why do I say so? Today, before now, Sierra Leone been there among, for the last 20 or so years, Sierra Leone almost always they register very high maternal mortality rates there. Before now, the sub-Sahara figure, now 553 about that. Sierra Leone not able to reduce that very dismal and abysmal figure, that very sad figure of how many women in the die in childbirth. Yeah, would not reduce down by 74%. Not only the so, not so President Bill say. This is UNFPA certified by the global community. 74% reduction in maternal mortality figures. That means instead of the high figure they hold in the register, now 443 mothers out of 100,000, they only now they would loss during childbirth. And the ultimate objective is for reducing to zero. We have been able to do this wonder, all this heavy lifting in 4 short years of President Bill. So there is a lot to celebrate for mothers. Before now, they say the global posture was Salone are the worst place for being a mother. We are changing that narrative. 74% maternal mortality figures now don't reduce. I think say we deserve for give President Bill a kudos. We deserve for commend the Ministry of Health and the healthcare workers there, where they lay down their lives so that other people then will survive. Rahman Swaray from Liberia said they follow the program right from Broadview. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so la break it down. You're not great, but I go do very well, Abraman. Thank you very much. I go make very conscious efforts. Na village I come on. Na village you know to talk Creole. Na school you can learn English, but I go try. Yeah. Thank you very much, Abraman. So we're not able for do this for reduce the maternal mortality figures then. So how that means that the woman that would die in childbirth. So almost every woman women that get belly get a fair chance for die in childbirth. We don't reduce them figures and they considerably by 74%. Now, so we don't also reduce the infant mortality figures there. This as a result of very deliberate policies of this government of President Bill, we made investment in health allocation at 6%, at 6% of a budget. Today, it's 11.3% of a national budget now they allocate to healthcare delivery, right? So we don't try, even though we don't reach the 15%, prescribe it. But I'm sure during the second term, with the commitment and the passion where President Bill gets for the welfare and well-being of Sierra Leoneans, we will reach that one day. So I think that one is important for note. Mr. Cleverly, my brother and the UK Foreign Secretary, they also go visit the Islamic Call Society secondary school, which UK investment. But few things are important for note. This school here on a double ground. Double ground for some of who will not sabi. Again, double ground at Independence, now they may get the double of paramount chiefs. All the paramount chiefs then they may assemble and do the rites there, do display, do performances there. And so it's very historically important. So I remember I am told where Babadi Kamara mentioned and to James Cleverly the significance of double ground. A whole in said, what? This is interesting. So that was a rich piece of history where James said come face to face with. Now the school day, they interact with the beginner and see where they take that selfie. But there was a lot beyond that selfie. Yesterday at the press conference where they asked them, I said, look, they don't see the impact of human capital development. They said the beginner are very confident, they're bold, they're audacious. You know, we ask the beginner and talk, say, oh, so there won't be military people there, so there won't be all kind of people there for continuing national service. That for him was a great feat. We'll get beginner confident. So that one they be very good. And James Kerr, they are very fond memory going go. Now they make sure they taking that selfie with the beginner. I mean, that is something it take along. Now very fond memories. He remembers the Bolton hospitality. He remembers the commitment of the beginner, the commitment of the government to free quality education, for leave no one behind. You know, so now Bo assigned the strategy towards for women and gas. For women and gas. What do now they mean? The important follow talk. Why did James Cleverly or the UK government choose to do a very important signing ceremony like that in Freetown? And not in Freetown, in fact, in Bo, Sierra Leone's second capital. There is a logic in that madness. There is a logic in that action. What's in the logic? We will know about Salon. We know say this government under the leadership of President Julius Maada don't take a lot of concrete actions there for mainstream women, for protect the rights of women and gas. Let me put it how what's it make our talk so. When President Bill became president in 2018, you been get a lot of incidents of rape, sexual penetration, violence against women. President Bill said this is very unacceptable. We cannot have this. Women then constitute about 52% of the population. We will not go marginalize them. We will not go abuse them. We will not go use violence as a weapon against them. So it takes them strong positions in there. What did he do for remedy that? He declared a national emergency, and during that period, they will enact very strict laws then, right? We'll review the Child Rights Act. We'll review all laws that will deal with women and children for making them very stringent, for making them very strict. So anybody will do sexual penetration or rape, we don't increase them punishment, and the sexual penetration can go life imprisonment from 15 years to life imprisonment. All of this for make sure, say, women get a fair chance for grow up in an enabling environment and realize their fullest potentials. So the UK government are aware of that huge success. They're also aware, say, we got a free quality education where they make sure, say, every girl child will go school, we're able to pass in transition exams into university, where they study science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and agriculture, they get automatic scholarship when they apply. So this country is moving. Are we where we want to be? No. Are we on track? Yes, we are. So they make a lot of progress this kind of way. International partners are very, very impressed. Again, more recently, Rose Rogers, thank you, Mr. Minister, for always helping us understand. All the government is doing, proud of you. Thank you very much, Rose. Thank you very much for keeping engaged. The other is Ansu Kamara. Yes, so the link today at the Ask for Leone share. Honorable Minister Mohamed Rahman Swaray, Minister of Information. I will share the link now just now. So when I say go, it will share. Thank you very much, Ansu. The other bit again is very recently. Eddie Grant, thank you very much. Eddie, we grew up together, aging very gracefully. Thank you very much. You know, now by God in grace, with the child. Eddie, thank you. So also the one for talk about the very recent enactment, the Gender Equality and Empowerment Law. What happened? The president don't listen to Boku. Sierra Leone don't fail all global indexes. And in all fairness, we get a population, women and constitute more than 51% of the population. That's a significant part of the population who are not for left out na the decision-making table. Who we for the make decision for, then they no more for be impacted by the decision. So the president don't heed the call of women over the years. So look, we are going to enact a law where they give the woman a safe and secure place around decision-making table. So the GIWI bill, GIWI meaning Gender Empowerment and Women's Equality Bill, been done pass. Now, some of the key provisions of that law is women then go get 30% of appointive and elective positions in cabinet, and all appointments the way His Excellency they do, and all elective positions like for go parliament. Now I make for go parliament for all political parties. The formula get for be after every 2 months you get 1 woman. After every 2 months you get 1 woman. So the woman then will ensure say they get 30 or more percent. I think this is a quantum leap. This is a big move this government don't do. Since independence, we not don't do that. Woman in a kitchen with the left there. The president said no. And for ensure say this woman this presidency are serious about that. In 2012, this is not the only viable political party leader who don't ever appoint a woman as a running mate. If President Bio nobody lost the results of that elections in 2012, who could have had our first female vice president in 2012. Again, when I see the level of empowerment where they give Madam First Lady for go about making national contributions. So he's a very empowering husband, he's a very empowering president. Apart from the appointment and elective, somebody go say, how about women and we not go school? We don't make sure, say, in the GIWI bill, they get access to finance. What does that mean? The one that they do them small thing there, they're able to do their small businesses, they're able to get access to bank loans there, for able to, not to bank loan where they make you come on a village, because what do you mean they happen in the past? If you get bank loan, they pay 25% interest. So some people, they run away from their communities there. You know, now microcredit, they make them run. So I meet up somebody who have been known at Kenema long years. I see another the work for African Minerals. I meet around Sambaya Bendugu area. I said, what's the can do here? It's in a micro. I said, what's in a micro? It's in a microcredit payment I run away from. So when I know so we now set up the Monafa Fund, and there are efforts for set up the cooperative bank. And also the Ministry of Trade and Finance, they work jointly on that project so that they will make them accessible to women with a struggle on a daily basis for provide for themselves and their families. Apart from that, for jobs and opportunities, women forget 30% na all employees they. Yeah, the one that own private sector organizations, as long as you get over 25 employees, you for make sure say the 30% rule applies. So Sierra Leone is coming of age. Yes, it is taking us 61 years, but 61 years we did not have President Bill. We have him here now, and he's a very progressive person. And they do the right things there for make sure say we country go places. Excuse me, gentlemen and ladies, you know. So now some of them things that so if you want to ask why in a salon they choose for can launch that program, the strategy for women and girls on International Women's Day, I can tell you say now some of them key in there. This government, in 4 years, they already punch above in weight, and they take the tough rights decisions then, and the president say he committed for do more in his second term. When Sierra Leoneans and go overwhelmingly vote on June 24th this year. Yeah, thank you very much, Ali Bangura. Yes, we all look forward to, a resounding victory for President Bill on the first ballot. Mohamed Tennyson from Bo City, thanks very much for staying engaged with this program. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, so let's come back. Okay, Sansi Sir Emmanuel. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Minister, for a job well done. You are the first minister in Sierra Leone taking your time informing the citizens about the day-to-day activity. May God continue to guide and protect you in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you very much. God bless you, Sansi. A calm Freetown yesterday. Now Freetown, I be meet with the press. It raised very serious issues then. Professor Francis, who is the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, he dwell at length on the historical ties between the UK and Sierra Leone. They talk about the fact say the UK and Sierra Leone don't be party then, tigi through thick and thin. They call them all-weather friends. When we had the Civil War, the UK was here. Man and they I would remember Operation Barras, another Okra Hill thing. We being one of the lethal blows that to the RUF back then. Operation Barras, the Brits were here, they spent resources, they spent human resources, cash, and everything and put at the disposal for make sure they were able to close that chapter. They also dwell at length on the role who will get Ebola, who will get COVID, and the support in various and being one of the highest bilateral development partners there. So it's all length in a day. And so what you done, the UK on their part, then said talk say they're very proud of the history with Sierra Leone, having been each other's keeper over the years. And yesterday, they signed a trade and investment MOU with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. So somebody will ask, what's the significance of that one day? First, Mohamed Jabi say, with such programs, some of us can challenge this listening to every video social media post because it was a fake news that was the main means of information from Salo, even though most of them don't live in the country. Thanks very much, Mr. Mohamed Jabi. God bless you. Let's share the word to our friends. It takes all of us for beat disinformation and misinformation. Yes, Ali Mouri say, Mr. Minister, what will work well with the 30% quota? In some constituencies, only women should be able to stand for parliamentary election. So, let tell you what's in the happen there. Mr. Wuri, I think so the logic is if a constituency get for the, I think saying that the woman will stand up the woman and not run against man. That's my understanding. So if you say constituency 001, if APC they put now woman and get for put, if SLPP they put now woman and get for put, anybody now woman and get for put, so whoever wins now that constituency get for the woman. Now that's my understanding. I stand to be corrected. So there's no way you can escape not having women. Ali Bangura say we don't want to go back to 1961. Obviously, that's a reference to the APC flag bearer. We say want to go to 1961. Now that 1961 conversation, I'm going to make a brief comment about it. When you mention 1961, now that time you been get very few secondary schools now. 1961, you don't get mobile phones. I mean, sometimes a whole district now 5-6 landlines them in it. 1961, this internet what you been talking about. 1961, now SLBC no more and I be analog. All this liberalization where they talk, every community get radio stations there. A multiplicity of Boku newspaper. We got over 240 radio stations. You get over 150 newspapers all registered. The various places. 1961, a daily mail no more been there. 1961, you only been get SLBC will go broadcast in the morning. Now next back a broadcast. If you miss out, now that make among the many people they say radio yepe me aliga. Now radio talk it don't pass because what you see you miss out that morning day it don't pass. So nobody know for take to 1961. It is not the best way forward for a country. Yes. Peter Beckley. So, okay, Peter, thank you very much. Peter, you're talking local content. I'm not going there. Okay, so thank you very much. So yesterday we got this very big press conference where the two foreign ministers did not talk. James Cleverly, our brother, and the UK Foreign Secretary, then talk about other issues. They talk about the fact say we then signed that trade MOU, trade and investment MOU. They talk say they work very hard for make Sierra Leone an attractive investment destination. Already, like we get with the US, the AGOA, African Growth and Opportunities AGOA, African Growth Opportunities Agreement or Act. UK say will get a similar trade promotion thing with them, right? So James Cleverly notes say they are improving on that. This time, not only raw materials can be exported to the UK, we also now go able to give we'll processed goods, manufactured goods into the UK as long as and free. So Sierra Leone has a big opportunity now so for able trade, expand trade, build on trade with the UK at all times. I think that this one very important for Sierra Leone. And I tell you, what to make it important, we as government will not already see that. Today, they do a program in the morning, somebody asked me, okay, with all the opportunities here what they get, what will they do as a country for make sure, say, we able to compete, with Ghana, Nigeria, and others. So my answer has been this. This country here gets a lot of opportunities. Apart from having, vast stretch of arable land, we're able to farm all year, beautiful weather. We also get a youthful population. A youthful population, we're willing, I'm sure, and ready for land. Law not forget, say, because of the Civil War, we'll get a whole generation of Sierra Leoneans that will miss out on education, formal education, technical vocational education. So this government, knowing the importance of human capital development, don't prioritize technical vocational education and training so that we're able to produce middle-level manpower. People who can not only rely on government for jobs, but also able to create their own jobs there and employ other people there. So things say we get ready with manpower for able to enhance our competitiveness patterns in there. Talk about electricity. Again, we meet electricity at an abysmal 11%. Today, it is around 38%. Because we know, say, for an investor can a country, they get for look at the electricity. You get power for able to fail the investment. We know that one. So we are putting the building blocks in place, brick by brick and layer by layer, for able to make sure, say, we're able to compete with their country that day. I can go on and on and on, but for today, we want to concentrate on this. So Sierra Leone, in addition to exporting duty-free to the UK market, all agricultural products, now also get an opportunity under this new MOU for able to export finished products there into the UK market, particularly after the non-left Brexit. The UK, they look for more foreign trade now. And then things that Sierra Leone are one of them countries they are able to do business with. So the door is open. This is not for government no more. Every Sierra Leonean there, where they in business, for able to take advantage of this. The local content secretariat, they give support. We get the Ministry of Trade, they give support. Then they do various things there in the agricultural value chain for make sure say they add value to agricultural produce there for let them be fit for purpose and for export. Ken Dean Swaray say watching you live from London. Thank you very much, Ken. We appreciate the kind sentiments and God bless you. So this is a truly and sincerely global program from London to US to Kamakwe to Firo, everybody they watch. Now also talk about the fact say Sierra Leone, we not only get everything right, but we do a lot of purposeful efforts there for make sure so we lift the country from the dungeon of development society for law make able compete and let people that able benefit more from trade with our foreign partners than like the UK. So because we don't do the right things there, we don't enact the right legislations there, the UK don't officially invite Sierra Leone to the UK to the Africa UK summit next year in April, simply because of the thing that what they do. For family, we're not there, we're not of voting and what they do. Now 24 countries and then invite Africa get about 54, 55 countries. Now 24 countries and invite and Sierra Leone they are among. So as a Sierra Leonean, we all ought to be proud of ourselves. We're not excellent, but they make the right efforts, or they do the right calls there. So I think this is really good. Both the Sierra Leone and the UK government, they now stress on trade rather than aid dependence. Aid we will still welcome, but one for trade, because we're trading, we're not equal, respectable partners in a trading relationship, in a business partnership. So now that kind of way they want to see the relationship. But what's more important, where James cleverly been the respond to Umaru Fofana in question on the Russian war, once in a way stand out, and this should stick for naysayers and people that will not see anything good with out of Sierra Leone, even though the whole world, the praise, even though the whole world, they celebrate the moves and he said the praise say I want the able host President Bill. I'll tell you when, President Bill go there now person will believe in talking to his citizens then. No president in the history of a country don't open himself up to much scrutiny as President Bill. They say government should be scrutinized more, not less, right? So I want for assure you say again for be hosted now one day. Mr. Parabo, I'll tell you plenty thank you for hosting this program. A really, really good way you talk that. Ali, thank you very much for the reassuring comment. Forward ever, backward never, new direction all the way. Famata Swaray Kiamo, watching from Pennsylvania, USA. Thank you very much, Famata. God bless you for joining this very important Sierra Leonean conversation. Live from the UAE. Thank you, Momo Kagbo. God bless you. This is a truly and honestly Sierra Leonean conversation. Mohamed Jabi. Okay, Mohamed Jabi, thank you very much. We really appreciate this. So, people that know the ask, what's in the rare significance of the UK Foreign Secretary visit? So this one, I want for Candy now, head on. So when they go to my village, people that know don't born in this country, they know when they go to the village. I mean, this is facts. If you don't know, your friend will know, put and they don't born and say, me not free to and they born me. You know, one day go to the village. So we have to give it to James cleverly say, even though they're born in a UK of a British father, they still find time for trace in roots, for reconnect with Sierra Leone. I think that this is really, really, really great. So anybody will get that excuse, say, Sabi village, hey, me people that not been coming go, that's a nonsense excuse, now useless excuse. Here's some guy born in the UK. It still come, you go now in my mind village, for go see, for go get the emotional connection, reconnection, and for make a contribution. So I think a very, very important now one major significance that. The other one, are the member when last a UK foreign minister Canada. What's in the UK foreign minister, amongst other things, now then even they talk about now that make now we the follow up, they may not change they may not redesignate the UK foreign secretary in office, then they now call Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, FCDO, Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, they under that office there. And then examine foreign assistance, then trade issues, then in deal with other countries. So for one of them interested in what they do, and let them show appreciation for the efforts where government they make, for example, in healthcare delivery, for example, in free quality education. Where you go to that Islamic called society, it been very, very touched say men were suddenly becoming champions against gender-based violence because the strategy of this government very clear. We don't get he for she champions. Today, Madam First Lady, Madam Fatima Jabi Biu, launched the strategy, engage young men and today from all the schools now so for talk to them, but the male involvement strategy, in violence against women, in supporting women, and all of that. James Cleverly was very, very clear. He said, if we empower women, nobody not foresee the empowerment of women as taking power from them. You must see it as more power to us. Me, I was reared by a single mother of blessed memory. I'm a Kroma. I not go school, but a person will be believed say before educated. Now, so sister they I get, So I grew up very pampered by my big sister and my small sister there, So when you empower a woman there, you don't empower a country, So somebody can tell me, say, me not sabi buy something. I honestly don't sabi. My sister there and my wife there, and they buy for me. If you pin something before me for buy, I might never get it right. So if you empower a woman there, you don't empower a country, you don't empower communities, you don't empower a nation. So poverty itself, now that way they will alleviate her. When I hear president can they talk about the empowerment of women there, they say find what money they like give woman. When you give woman and the ground go home for address domestic issues there, for support themselves and their family. But when you give man then they pass on side first, then send and go down. I don't know if there's so many to do when I saw the presidency, and I don't know around man and small bits. I know. Mr. Saul, please, sir, the coming week, please. Oh, sorry for that slight technical glitch. Really, really, really sorry. So, Mr. Saul, they say next time I'm going to look for Yeri from the ACC commissioner. Well, in a possible way, not media share at all. Once I tell her, he will be more than willing for appear on the next program. So I'll go reach out to her after her. Even though Professor Francis T one for making an appearance, so able to do today, because I know say there are many, many, many things who now hear from her, and he will be here next time round. So the other bit, what to make this visit significant? It can barely 3 months to elections. We will not follow Sierra Leonean politics and sub-regional politics for the longest time. Normally, we're close to elections. No high-profile government officials in the country because then things say it could be mistaken as endorsement. But in the last 2 weeks, we don't get very high-profile government officials. Then the Canada, this country, government don't continue from benefit from development support, development assistance. Last week before last, we been get the CEO of the Millennium Challenge Corporation, Miss Alice Albright, been Canada, for letting government talk about how then they develop the compact and eventually sign in October this year. So it doesn't happen where the world is not pleased with you. Memuna Rappel, welcome. Good to have you on the program. Always a pleasure. So, Madam Albright Bendenaya last week. This week again, we brought her the British Foreign Secretary. That means there are a lot of things President Bill is doing right. There are a lot of things this country is doing right, and that this country is on the ascendancy. If you ask me, now a resounding vote of trust and confidence in the leadership of President Bill. He has nurtured this economy well in difficult times. And I want to say this. I think that this should not escape me. Any situation. The Right Honorable James Cleverly, in responding to Umar Fofana's question, been talk say the war in Ukraine, it don't impact very negatively on the global community of nations, from the UK to everywhere. They say yes, on a daily basis, it's impacting on your food prices, it's impacting on your petroleum product prices. Not to miss this, now James Cleverly, the Right Honorable for the Foreign Secretary for the UK. And this is fact. Waiting this go for show. Anytime we don't address Sierra Unions there, we don't tell una say because of COVID and because of the twin global crisis of COVID and the Russia-Ukraine crisis, supply chains have been rudely disrupted, and again, we don't get the result of price hike. The prices of everything that go up, prices of petroleum products that go up, prices of food that go up. So a fine we other trusted voice talk about them, because Salomon also they make politics. Even the one that we sabi, then they talk politics. And that's so unfair for the efforts and the sacrifices we put and they make. We not only say because this happen in Ukraine, it happen around the world, we sit down full hand and foot. For family, we don't know I say this. When we been get COVID, we now what start in 2018. With GDP growth now be about 3.5%. By 2019, we don't make 5.3%. Unfortunately, COVID strike, all thing tumble. But still, as a government, we take responsibility seriously. What did we do? We do boku interventions for people who might want to ask, what we do as government with COVID strike? We make sure, say, one, we put in place what they call a quick action economic recovery program. The Ministry of Finance and all sector heads and work on it. What's in that one they mean? One of the key objectives of that strategy now before make sure say we not get shortage of essential commodities in the market. Things like fuel, things like basic food, rice, and cooking oil, and then they're not short in there. We been the see to line even at the developed world for them and they let's not talk about neighboring countries and now they can't buy. Not to think what happened by accident. President Bill, being the soldier that he is, he always believes say the day of planning is different from the day of battle. So we plan very well ahead. So you're about COVID na China, who responds na one of the very best in the world. I mean not to miss na so the world say, right? You're about na China, will begin prepare for an. So by the time we go first incident, will activate all response capacities. Now make COVID not be able to disseminate we. Now make not able to finish we. Like all that's in there. So I think that this one very important for the family. Note they not happen by chance. But again, on the economic front, what we will do apart from doing the quick actual economic recovery program, one of the first things they will do will make money available to commercial banks there for use by importers then, so that they will able to get foreign exchange for import essential commodities into the country. Then so that one they be very strategic, it was timely, it was the right decision to make that end. We'll do that one day. So I think say that one they been good, and that make will not be short in any of them in the even when neighboring countries they may get this. It's also important for note, even after COVID, very recently I listened on the BBC say Liberia been a struggle for pay salaries to the judiciary. They don't go for 3 or so months and not been the pay. Till they subpoena the Minister of Finance. For more we begin, President Bill take over. Salaries them in the delay. We know one day delay salaries. Everybody is paid. We don't affect salary increases. All man they get paid from that time to now. I mean, this has to be commended, right? We also get for other countries and they even take pay cuts there. We also get for note say during that same period, we make sure say we pay service sector workers. Then people they work in a hotel. because the hotel and tourism sector have been one of the hardest hit during COVID. Tourism not the kind of country because they said they in lockdown, who said they in lockdown. So there was a risk, they will sack them, they will redundant them, and then it further impact very heavily on families there. Government may give each and every one of such workers there 3 months salary so that they and their families there will be well looked after during that period. Only a government that cares does that. During Ebola, even though the whole world been focused on Sierra Leone, now 3 countries no more been get Ebola. Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. So the whole world, millions were poured into this country. One day they not do their interventions, they will do, with the whole world been getting their own feds there. So that means this government, a Kumara government, will care, will compassionate, or want for do good for every Sierra Leonean. Again, that same period will be the lockdown. We'll make sure, say, all the lockdown, we'll get them people and they what they call people living with disabilities. They will farm and they na bigger than they live by. They live by the day off the street. All the lock them down. We'll say, look, if we lock them people are down, we'll not make provision for them. You know, that means we're heartless. And President Bill, they put the people there at the heart and center of administration. So we've been give direct cash transfers to them. We've been give them money for look after themselves and their families there during that lockdown period. Only a government will care, honestly and sincerely, go do that. Again, during the same period, we've been do direct cash transfers to market women so that they go able their business and not go collapse. They go able to continue for live and survive. So we have done many things. So let us not ask, because of the COVID day, which James cleverly says don't cannot say COVID don't bring untold hardships. The Russia-Ukraine war don't bring untold hardships to the people around the world, and Sierra Leone, the Finland, every single day in high prices for basic essential commodities, including food prices, including petroleum products. And during that same time, somebody remind me, say, we'll continue for fund a free education program. So I think, say, this one really so good. Abba Selassie, Sierra Leone a better place than 5 years ago. We got free education. We got more areas benefiting from electricity. These are some of them tangible strides there. We for make Sierra Leoneans there on June 24th for make sure say we take advantage of that situation and not get any runoff before able to vote President Bill resoundingly on the first ballot. You know, leaders in the car, great leaders in the car, but good leaders there, a heart fallen and can't away. 65 years old, look, just last week we come out commission an ultra modern, brand new airport. I don't see people then either out of ignorance or bad political judgment, they say not to a new airport. I don't work in an airport in senior leadership for over 10 years. I know say, when they talk about an airport, the key components are, you can forget runways, you can forget a control tower, you can forget taxiways, you can forget turning loops, you can forget fire vehicles, and this time addition, a police station. All of this now brand new equipment they will get. I tell you, for family, we don't know. I've been in that airport, now there I work for over 10 years. I've been in that executive management. At the time I entered, they probably the youngest person back then, in 2000, around about then. So, President Bill don't pull shame per we. Where are they in that airport day? This was 2008. Gambia, but they changed some of the equipment in the airport. We were so shameless. We go to that airport, go big that thing, then equipment in Gambia don't decommission. Na airport balance, we say then decommission the airport because they don't make fit for purpose for them again. We'll go there, we'll go bigger, we'll pay some money, we'll bring an and now will be used. So President Bill has given us a brand new airport after 85 years. Somebody go on for say why 85 years? The previous Freetown terminal, now during the Second World War, they built, and they're not built for civil aviation, that'll be a military air base, yeah, for the Brits during that war. So that was called it 1938-39. So from that time to 2023, it is safe for say this is about 85 years it takes Sierra Leone to get a brand new airport. People that don't talk about development, but nobody has been bold enough for talking this. And the president, this man word not for don't grow. They don't say even the Lunge Bridge, nothing now they will make sure say in the second term it deliver inshallah, inshallah. So that's a big aspiration. But we know President Bill, the man who they think through the issues there before you talk about them. And I sit in cabinet and know the kind of efforts that have been made for attract the much needed funding for finance the Leone Bridge. Again, through PPP model. The people that they come, like the Turkish there, they put their money there, will agree a period of time where they will get their money without government having to commit much needed taxpayers' money. So, my dear people, Sierra Leone is on the ascendancy. Will they move before? Forward ever, like somebody say, backward never. The country don't suffer for far too long. We will not allow it to go back. Yeah. So, George Orwell. George Orwell, you know, say this government not harass no woman. They're not harass no woman. But if you have an anti-corruption issue, you get for go na CID, you get for face the anti-corruption commission. If you get any issue, you get for do law and order, you get for face law and order issues. They're not the call you because she's a woman. Allow not overplay the gender card. I'll be the first to vote for women. Like I say, I was reared by a single mother of blessed memory, na so sister they get. But that is not to say, a person do wrong and not go face the law. We last time we in this school, they say equality before the law, right? The law is no respecter of persons. Mohammed Jabi said, I remember 2018 by such time, it was violence and chaos. Look, it's just 2 months to election. The atmosphere very relaxed. Well, Mohammed Jabi, with President Bio in charge, this country will know peace. This country will enjoy peace. We will ensure that happens. Now that make we don't tell the one that we believe say, Mame cause and violence, now weapons of choice for these elections. This election's outcome will not be determined by Mame cause. It will not be determined by violence. These elections will be about issues. If the APC gets alternative policies to free quality education, sometimes they want can pull them, let them put them at the table. If they want for can reverse the gender equality and empowerment bill, the 30%, let them can put them at the table. If they don't want the repeal of the criminal libel law, let them can talk. If they don't want to repeal it, abolish the death penalty, let them can talk. If they don't want the new airport bill, because they empower by for Bill Mama, let them can pull an alunge. But we, then in here, this is development sans frontier. My friend, good, but in the about medicine sans frontier, meaning doctors without borders. This president bill in government here, now development will there about nobody know they make look back. Joseph Samase, apart from few, many of us appreciate President Bill-led government, all the issues the world is facing. They still try to put things in place. Thank you very much, Joseph. Well, we take government as national service. Today is Friday. I know say back in the days, my colleague then go to power that thing, then go to send them for go down, then go to send them go down. But me sit down here because we don't take her as a sacred duty. I still remember when President Bill swear away in as ministers, a 4 set of ministers. It tell me say, ladies and gentlemen, they said this country don't suffer for far too long. Lord be that group of men and women who help save her. So anytime I get for do this work, that is what I remember. It is a privilege. It's an opportunity. 7.8 million people or thereabouts for get an opportunity for serve. That is not something you should take for granted. You get for do your best. With all due respect, wholesale fare is now cheaper than 3-5 years ago. Right Honorable James Cleverly is not being transparent. The war got nothing to do with the new world order. BP made over 40 billion profit, but the UK government is just gaslighting. Notwithstanding the great job President Bill and the government is doing, so kudos to them. Thank you very much, Alim. This one, now conversation we will get for another day. And I honestly go like for engage on that one day. But thank you so very much for that opinion day. Charles Champion Contest said the government has really done so much to upkeep its citizens. I hear yesterday Mr. James, the UK Foreign Secretary, talking about the excruciating challenges of Russia. So yes, we talk about the changaness with the Russia-Ukraine war don't bring to citizens there, with the impact very negatively on food prices and petroleum products there. Yes, so we can talk. So Sierra Leoneans of don't say President Bill, a very honest man, this government very honest. All the car on air, all the engage, all the talker, people then say A, B, C, D. But now I don't hear it. Yes, so Rahman Swaray say in life, no matter how good your idea is, if you don't sell it, nobody will buy it. So please, Mr. Minister, continue to inform the people about the good work of President Bill, the best minister of information. Thank you very much, Musa. I really appreciate this. I'm going to remain humble even in the face of this battle. Thank you, thank you. no runoff, no speed bumps, no toll gate, all the way to State House for President Bill, no second round. Well, that's the popular sentiment everywhere I go, from Ferengbea to Solima to Kailang. Everybody they say no toll gate, no speed bump, no nothing. First run, 110 crash, President Bill to State House. So we look forward to that very much. And they don't commit. What to make for, there is a lot of hope ahead. President Bill don't say, look, the second term, we'll go for address the issue of hunger. They make agriculture a big deal in an administration so that people then will get waiting for it. So that we're not going to be very vulnerable. Where Russia and Ukraine get issue, where anything happen, with prices and begin go up, we're not able to afford that. We say one get food security home, so it's going to move big on agriculture. I think say that's the right and proper thing to do. So my family, I think the time don't catch we. Alim Wuri, thank you very much. Alim, talk and do. You say about talk and do, man. Yes, but thank you very much. I want to tell you plenty thank you for your time, for the support, for the commitment, and for the love for Sierra Leone. Because now we talk about the progress we Sierra Leone make. Not so we're not dwell on negativity, we're not call for war, we're not call for anything. Memuna Kamara said, no Mamekos, it's all about issues 2023, June 24, for President Bill and SLPP. God bless you, Memuna Rappel. So we say, plenty thank you. Let's share the link there, and let's continue this conversation. When our concerns then will be brought on board next time around, put in the ask. Well, Professor David Francis want make up for in lost time. So I shall say midweek before the regular time. I will bring her in and Ben Kefala this week with the council because we also want for hear from Ben. But I want to tell you plenty thank you and really, really, really honestly and sincerely appreciate your patronage. So let's continue for share the link. Let the discussions go on. Maybe I can follow the discussion. Someday I can respond. Marion Yao Gaima, Bio for sure. Thank you very much. God bless you. It's been a really engaging conversation. God bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye.